correct?
I'm not in charge of it.
Oh, you're not? Okay.
You have to be out at 8:30.
Okay.
Go online if you want, okay?
Vickers says that this day. The reason I ask is because I want to give everyone who may have time to ask personal questions of these candidates at the end of this debate. I'm going to ask one more question, then I'm going to have them give their closing statements following the answers to that question. And then hopefully you can find some campaign material, and the candidates will be here and they can answer some questions for you as well. And Evan, I believe, will you start with you?
Thanks.
Somebody keeping track for us here?
Yeah.
So many questions. All right. The question is for both of you, and we'll start with Evan. It's a two-part question. How do you define the proper role of government? And how do you differentiate between programs, state programs that are well-meaning, but still fall outside the proper scope of government?
Good question. Is that one of your radio listeners? That was a good question. The proper role of government for me has always been to provide services that are necessary to continue to keep the public flowing that can't be done by them themselves. Okay? So obviously you think of things that what should we provide? We should provide infrastructure, streets, roads, those types of things. Law enforcement, there'll be chaos with that, those types of things. And on the state level, we do have to administer some social programs, just because the funding mechanism from the federal government and the responsibility we have there. Education is one that we have to provide, because that's something that we can't, although some people can, but most of us cannot provide that good quality education on our own. So that's my definition of the proper role of government. I try to stay within that. Now, there are always, I can't tell you how many advocates inundate the Capitol with things that they want. Okay, and you can name the profession, you can name the atmosphere, but there's all sorts of programs, from social programs to anything that you can think of. There's going to be people that want things, and you have to step back and say, yeah, that's a really good idea, but can we afford it? Do we need it? Can you do it on your own? And that's the way you have to approach it. Is it difficult? Yeah, it's really difficult to sit in a room of angry people and tell them, no, we can't do that, but here's why. And this is what I've always thought. If I'm going to have to say yes or no to someone, I want them to know that I've done everything I can to research it, look at it, and come to a conclusion that is appropriate for the best use and the best interest of everybody in their state or in the city, when I was on the city council. That's the way you have to look at it.
The proper role of government is to protect the rights of the citizens. That's the first and core role of government. To provide a court system so that we find ourselves in agreements with another person, with a company, whatever, that there is a court system in order to litigate when we feel that our rights have been violated. That's the function of government. All of these other things can be good. Some of them are things where it's perfectly fine for the government to be involved. We need to look at the constitutional limits on government, on both national government and on the state government. We have a Utah Constitution that lays